Growing up in Scotland in the 90s, if you were into rallying, there was one name that echoed louder than the rest: Colin McRae. Behind the wheel of the 555 liveried Subaru Impreza, McRae didn't just win the 1995 World Rally Championship, he carved his name into motorsport history and turned the Impreza into a legend. Tragically, we lost Colin in 2007, but his legacy lives on in every gravel-churning drift, every blue and gold Subaru tearing down a back road, and especially in the classic Imprezas that still carry that rally DNA. Today I'm meeting up with Aaron, who's bringing out his rally-inspired Subaru Impreza UK Turbo 2000. We're hitting the road just to see how much of that McRae magic still lives on. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 3 of Dream Car Driveways. Today I'm joining Aaron and his fantastic 90s cult classic, the ultimate road-going rally car, the Subaru Impreza WRX. Aaron, thank you very much for taking the time today, mate. Tell us a little bit about your car then, please, pal.
So this is Roxy, my Subaru Impreza UK Turbo 2000. I've had it for just over 3.5 years now. As you can see, it's changed quite a bit from what it was originally with the Marlboro livery, the Vaux wheels. Yeah, it's had quite a lot of stuff done to it. It's got an Apex command unit. We've got a TD05 20G turbo in it.
Standard, what is it, TD04 normally
it's
that's on these?
TD04 usually.
Yeah.
I think I could be wrong, but I'm sure the STIs came with a TD05.
Right, okay.
But I know there's a lot of people now in the Subaru community that have went to a VF, what's that, 43?
The hybrid turbos, yeah.
There's a lot of them kicking about and stuff like that. But yeah, so carbon spoiler on the back of it as well.
I'm right in thinking that the gentleman's agreement had these at what, about 280 brake horsepower?
276 in the
Right,
JDM community, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
What's yours pumping out just now then?
I'm sitting at 320.
Wow,
at the
okay.
moment.
And in a car that weighs what, about 1,200 kilograms?
1,200 kilograms, yeah.
That must feel like it shifts then, yeah?
It goes, do you know something that's quite nice, like the old delivery? You get that wee bit of lag, you've got to be in the right gear at the right time, you've got to drive it.
See, mine,
which is nice.
My Forester unfortunately was an automatic, so it meant it was on or off, you know, there was nothing then everything. And it would pin you in the back of your seat, but you just didn't have that precise control over it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what one's like with a manual gearbox today, mate.
Aye, like I say, it is nice. It's like, it was one of the guys that were down at Japfest last week. He took it back to Cafe in the Machine for me. Me and my wife had to go and pick up other stuff while we were down there for her car. And we got back and he was like, it's quite laggy, isn't it? And I'm like, somewhat, but you've got to be in the right gear at the right time.
Well, that's it. Classic 90s turbos is you're going to get in that point where if you're in fourth gear putting the foot down, you're not going to be on the power band. Exactly. You're just not going to be within that band of power that you're going to need for that turbo to kick in and pin you in the back of your seat. Tell me that you've done the livery yourself then, mate, yeah?
Yeah, me and a couple of mates in his unit. We done it over 2 days in his unit.
Excellent, yeah.
And some of it was a nightmare.
What was the most difficult part to do you think?
To be honest, probably lining up the Marlboro on the door.
Seriously, yeah.
And then trying to get it cut. Because it was one of the guys from our sister club, JPCCNI, that has got his own graphics company. So I asked, Simon, can you do this? He was like, if you send me what you're looking for, and then I sent it to her. But trying to get it lined up was and trying to go round the door, like trying to get the wrap on.
Trying to cut them out. Yeah, as I say, I'd done this bit on my Focus ST, and even that small section was just an absolute nightmare. Underneath, it was a mess. On the top, looked nice, but if you got under the car, it was an absolute riot. It
was difficult, but it makes a difference.
It really makes it stand out. And it just suits the lines of the car so well.
It does suit it nicely, aye. 90s liveries are just where it's at.
How old is this now, and what is this, a P-Reg from 97?
This is 1996. I want to say it was November.
I suspect I'm going to know the answer to this, but
What was it about the Impreza?
Coming home from school or even at the weekends, and like the WRC, the Group A stuff with a certain Colin McRae.
Has to
And
be.
a
If
blue
in doubt,
Subaru,
flat out, mate. Yep.
A blue Subaru 555 livery on it. That boxer engine, shooting flames out the back of it. I want one. That was it. And this has been my dream for I was about knee high.
Excellent.
And
Well, that's why it's on Dream Car Driveways, mate. That's what we want, is we want cars that have a special place in people's hearts, you know, ones that they've grown up with and they've like, I've always wanted to own that car, and you finally get it and it puts a smile on your face every time. That's what you're after with cars, isn't it?
Absolutely. Of course it is.
Brilliant, man. Well, it's absolutely fantastic. Shall we hit the road, see what it's like?
Absolutely.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Excellent.
Right, that's us out in Arlen's Subaru now. We're on a couple of country roads. What's it like to drive in Arlen?
Really, really nice. On a back road such as this, it's just happy. But motorway driving, not so much. Doesn't like being on motorways. It's happiest when it's on a back road. It's nice and relaxed, but you can still push it.
That's what I liked about my Subaru, is that it was either or, you know, you could sit, cruise in it, and if you needed that extra bit of oomph or have a bit of fun, stick it into the third gear. It was only a 4-speed automatic, but if you kept it in third gear, it would rev all the way up to about 80 mile an hour, and it was on the point of power every single time in that gear, man, eh? And yeah, it was more refined than I thought a sort of piece of agricultural equipment would be, man, you know, because as you say, these are built for rally stations, they're built for B-roads. It's where they come alive, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as you can see from the dash, the instruments are in here. It's basic. It's here's what you need, and that's it. You're not getting anything else.
As I was saying before, mine only had a clock in it. That was like the pinnacle of technology in mine, beyond the remote starter, and it didn't even work half the time, man. But it just meant that you were just more involved with the drive. You know, you're actually part of the drive. I find that a lot of modern cars, you're kind of just along for the ride. You know, you're just there for the experience. Yeah. Excellent. So you say that you put on coilovers on this then?
Yes, it's sitting on HSD coilovers at the moment. But I'm kind of in between with them at the moment. They're very stiff. Very, very stiff on the road. I've given up comfort for, I don't know if I say performance, because I think Subaru know better than probably me. It's more aesthetics.
Yep.
And as you get here, the tyres, did they hit a wee bit?
Is it rubbing off the arch? Is that what we've got there? Have you rolled the arches at all? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tried to get them pushed out as far as I can with 8-inch wheels on it. It's, to be honest, I could probably do with a slightly slimmer tyre.
Right,
It's got
okay.
225, 45, 17s on it at the moment. Mitchie Pilot Sports. But I'm thinking changing to 215s.
Right, okay. Give an extra little bit of clearance, like
Bit
while
of
still
clearance.
maintaining a good
Yeah.
bit of surface.
Absolutely.
See, mine when I first bought it came with proxies, and they would slip. They would slip all the time in the back. Like, they obviously automatic, they don't have control when it puts power to the back, and you could kick the arse out of that thing. I once caught my poor old dear out when I took her out in it the first time, and yeah, that gave her a bit of a surprise. Like,
Scotland's missing JDM.
Totally.
We all still love it.
seems to be quite a well-knit community you guys have created for the JKCC.
But that's what we try to build. But the car club is there for anyone and everyone. If you've got a junk car, but we try to keep everybody as part of the community. Don't be a stranger.
It's fantastic to hear that not only is the club fairly young, you know, it's only been around for 2 or 3 years, as you were saying earlier on, but it's had such a good uptake with people coming in and being part of the club, man. It's great.
It was Ryan Harvey reached 370 Nismo.
Yeah, which we're hoping to get on the channel very shortly. I'll be reaching out to you soon, Brian.
We just kept growing. We just kept growing, and we just kept growing and we kept growing, and we asked people to jump on board that were have been nothing but absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant.
We've just immersed ourselves in the club.
And I believe that you guys have got another thing coming up at the Dundee Museum of Transport very shortly, yeah?
Yeah, we have, let's say, Jap Day at the Dundee Museum of Transport, who have been kind enough after the JDM exhibit to ask us if we wanted to partner with them to do a JDM show. It's been good. It's a challenge. It's brilliant for us as a club to grow as well. It's really, really nice.
Excellent. So, the modifications that you've made to the car, what's your favourite that you've done so far?
Oh, I love the wheels. I love these Volks wheels. It just gives off 22B-esque vibes.
Yeah.
Like the 22B with the BBS, like multi-spokes. I love these. Would they change it for an STI? Probably not, because it's got good power, handles well. You can get everything to make it an STI.
Yeah. I suppose it makes it, if you were pushing big numbers, if you were trying to chase big numbers, then yeah, going for the better internals of the STI would make sense. But if you're keeping around about 300, just below 400, then the UK 2000 Turbo 2000 does exactly what you need now.
Turbo 2000s. They came in the EG20G, which is a closed deck.
Yep.
Well, some of them did, some of them didn't. It was an EG20G, but some EG20Gs are a closed deck block compared to the EG205, which is open deck, which a lot of people slate Subaru for.
So for those that out there that don't necessarily know what it is that you're talking about, explain the differences and what the pros and cons of those differences are.
So with an EG20G, it's a fully closed deck block. For me personally, if I was pushing big power, that'd be the most reliable way to go. That's just my personal opinion though. A lot of people say that the EJ207 is the way to go, that it's just a semi-closed deck. A semi-closed deck block. It's a bit more rigidity than the EJ205, which is an open deck. Which, if people don't look after them, then they become unreliable.
Which is, do you reckon that's potentially part of the reason why Subarus and reliability is potentially questioned?
Absolutely, 100%. Like, no doubt. Like, I've had this 3.5 years. And I drive it. I give it a spirited drive now and again, but I let it warm up before I drive it. I've got a turbo timer on it that let it cool, turbo cool down. Obviously, if it's been a spirited drive. The only thing that's happened here is a coil pack. I snapped a drive shaft and I've done a coil pack, but that's it.
They're coming up for 30 years old at this point, you know. You've got to make sure that you're treating it with the respect that a 30-year-old piece of machinery deserves. As you say, make sure that you get it up to temp, make sure that you're not kicking the arse out of it as soon as you can, and just treat it with the respect that it deserves. I'm exactly the same with the Porsche. I want it to last, but I also don't mind having a bit of fun with it as long as all the boxes are ticked for you to be able to go out and do that.
When I bought it, it was it's already had the Apex command unit put in here, and it had already been sitting at 320, and it was backed by a guy in the Subaru community who's well known, but it was called the Jolly Green Giant, and it was like him and Andy Forrest and stuff
Andy
like
Forrest,
that.
there's the name that everybody throws about that. Yeah,
they
100%.
were the men to go for Subaru.
Yep.
There's really good people that Spill Motorsport, they're doing really good things in Edinburgh. There's Bob Ball as well down south. But the Jolly Green Giant, he told our previous owners, let it get up to 85 degrees, like water temp, don't boost it until then. Like, obviously, don't boost it straight away as soon as it hits 85. Let it sit there for a wee bit, let everything just come up nicely.
Treat it well, and it'll treat you well back.
Of course.
Totally. And you've done a lot of the work on this yourself, I believe, yeah?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit to it. I've got a couple of changes that I've got sitting ready to go. So I attempted to get STI struts and E1 springs, put it back, more to that OEM kind of suspension.
Yep.
Blue ones are there. That's the iconic, the blue.
Yeah, that's the one that stands out.
Blue, bold wheels, loud, in your face. And
Original hooligan car.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
absolutely, of course. And I just wanted to change it up a bit. And decided, do you know what? Let's go a bit wild. Let's go a bit wild. My livery on it. Let's bring back the liveries of the 90s.
Yep.
Let's do it.
It makes it feel quintessentially rally car though. I was saying that to you before. Like, it just, I would see this coming off of a rally stage and then just you put home in it, you know, and I think that the livery works so well. And it's that era of car where you can stick a livery on it and it doesn't look shit. You know, it looks like it was purposely put onto the car for those reasons, man. And I think it suits it perfectly. But you were saying earlier that if you were to change it, you would go for the classic blue there.
Yeah, I think so. It was, like I was saying, it was a blue one that I always wanted. I love a blue Subaru with gold wheels.
They're iconic. They're a total cult classic. The people, if you ask people what they think about Subaru, it's either the 555 livery that gets brought up or the blue and gold wheels, man. 100%.
Yeah, just McRae himself.
Or McRae himself,
Just, aye. You seen it on the rally stages and it was full set.
Yeah.
120% everywhere.
Up and down and flat out, as it says. Like, and do you know what? He was just such a fantastic driver. You see some of the old classic clips of him tearing that car around. It's just an extension of him. He was able to throw that car about with no hesitation whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it was a real disappointment to me as a rally fan when he went over to Ford and he took on the Ford Focus, because it just wasn't the same, you know. He made an icon of these cars. It was him that brought these cars. After he won the 1995 WRC, I could imagine people the very next day being like, I need to get myself one of those cars, you know.
That was that. That's 90s, what, wins on Sunday, sells on Monday.
Exactly, man.
And that was that.
Spot on.
Even like just everything in the 90s was just, well,
they were pushing more. Certainly Japanese manufacturers of the 90s, the whole gentleman's agreement, the fact that they were lying about it and all that sort of stuff, because they just wanted to produce cars. They just wanted to produce drivers' cars. And unfortunately we've moved away from that, with the exception of Toyota, who are now sort of going a little bit more towards that racing heritage and at least embracing it a bit more. It's been a shame to see Subaru lose its way, Nissan losing its way. So yeah, it's fantastic just seeing something like this still on the road and getting treated well. You were saying it's got 180,000 miles on it as well.
180 miles on the shell, yeah.
Nearly to the moon, man. That's impressive.
So, the plan is for it to put a wee bit of that TLC back into it. I think it's earned it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Without a doubt, it's a cracker of a car, man. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's actually really comfortable as well. The seats, they hold you in quite well. I would imagine if you're tearing around a B road, they're going to keep you supported as you're going around the corners. And as you were saying earlier on, with the exception of the classic Subaru Burble, it's not as noisy as you would think it here is.
You think until you're on it. It's comfortable. You can drive this on the motorway. Like I'm saying, it's not happy on the motorway, but you can take it long distances and not be, your ears are not bleeding at the end of it.
You can get people in the back.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely fantastic. The noise from the engine, guys. Classic Subaru. I actually heard this thing coming before it turned up, and then obviously noticed the livery straight away. But absolute pleasure, man. It's a cracker of a car.
Yeah. Makes the right noises.
Oh, definitely. And that's part of the visceral feeling of it, isn't it? And that's what I like about 90s cars, is you, the car, and the road, and all the noises that it makes. There's no computers getting in your way, traction control systems like that. It's just you and your skills.
That's it. It's 50-50 split. Four-wheel drive.
Permanent four-wheel drive as well.
As well. And it just grips and goes. That's brilliant. Been getting a bit power greedy lately where 320's probably more than enough. But I've got that used to it, want more.
Myself and Stuart were discussing is you get used to the car up to a point and then I love it as it is, but you start to just become used to it. You know, it becomes a little bit more mundane and you're like, I'm kind of done, but what can I do next? And that's the beauty of these, is that there's always just that little bit more. There's always just that next thing you can do.
See guys pushing crazy crazy brake out of these easy 20s. You see it and you go, I want that. I want that. Yes, but at what cost do then I give up reliability for power?
Exactly. Like, you want it to be usable. You don't want to have it in the back of your mind that this thing could potentially pop at any time. How's the gearbox in these? Obviously, the internet will tell you that they're made of chocolate, but you're saying it's all right, yeah?
It's fine. I've had absolutely no issues at all with mine. But I think it's a lot of people with standing starts, they don't like it.
Yes, I've heard that. The four-wheel drive systems under the grip
Like
is quite extreme, and that's what potentially does them in.
Like I was saying, like I've snapped the drive shaft off this, but that was not long after we got it and been a bit of a hoon.
But again, it's the parts that you'll be able to get. You'll be able to get parts for this, no problem at all. It's not like it's a particularly rare car that you're going to struggle to import parts for or all that. My Forester was the same. It's exactly the same car. It meant that parts were readily available to me, and I could get loads of aftermarket parts as well. And it's nice to have that peace of mind, especially when you're taking a car that potentially is going to need some stuff. Because any car of any age is going to need work on it over the years, and having that stuff available to you, and at least knowing that people are still producing parts or still able to get parts for you. Stuart was saying a similar thing, and that he was struggling at times to get parts for it because a lot of the cappuccino owners are now hoarding them for themselves, and you won't experience that hopefully with this.
Yeah. It's
Feels, look at that 90s rubber gator as well. Jeez, Pete.
But
The lightness of the accelerator pedal actually, man. And the clutch,
clutch is surprisingly soft. Well, not soft, but light.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a bit heavier, man, yeah.
And it's not springy, it's just nice.
This steering wheel's lovely to hold.
It's really nice in the hands, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It feels really good quality, it's good stiff steering wheel. And do you know what, actually, the steering's quite precise, man. It is, yeah. My Forester was a little bit light.
Yeah.
It definitely didn't feel as precise. There were moments where you're like, oh, I don't know what the car's wanting to do next, and it could catch you out, whereas this, it feels very precise. There's a good weight to it now.
It feels really heavy when you jump in for another car or turn it goes.
That Porsche of mine is exactly the same. There's a weight to it that just makes you feel connected to the car, man.
Don't get me wrong, I've had my mishaps with this where I spun it out, leaving a roundabout.
Yeah.
But that was more me than it was the car. So that's one of the ones it's caught me off. It has caught me off guard a few things. That Subaru understeer, oversteer, pick a ditch.
Make sure that if you're putting the foot down, the wheels are as straight as possible. 100%. Yeah, I remember that. And as I was telling you earlier on, I caught my mother out, and that was the learning experience for me. Then was don't put the foot down until the wheels are almost perfectly straight, because otherwise the back end's going to kick in and it's going to bite you in the arse.
Oh, do not lift mid-corner.
All that, man. The Peugeot 106 taught me that.
Do not lift mid-corner or you're going whatever way it sees fit.
It's brilliant, though. It's absolutely fantastic. It feels really nice, and the burble, it's part of the experience of these cars, isn't it? Just that engine noise.
Another iconic thing about it.
100%, yeah.
The unequal length headers that just make that burble. And unfortunately when they moved to the Hawkeye, they kind of started, they got rid of it and started making it equal length headers. Took a bit of the personality away from it.
Yeah, it's a shame too, because the Hawkeyes in particular are a great looking car, especially after the blob and the bug eyes.
Yeah. I love a Hawkeye. I do love the Hawkeyes. But yeah, the road tax is one of the big killers on them.
Well, that's it, yeah.
That's what's killing it. It's what I was looking at one when I was looking at the time for this. I was looking like blob eye, bug eye. Like, I looked at them all, to be honest, and that was one of the big things that put me off. It's the road tax, £710 a year at that time.
That's ridiculous though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really?
I know.
And it's the same with the newer Foresters as well, actually, because they moved up into the 2.5 litre engine. It just increased the road tax considerably.
Don't get me wrong, there's still people that got Hawkeyes and fair play to them. They only use them during the good weather, so they'll only get taxed for, which is a good way round about it. But unlike, I use this all year, so it wouldn't be viable for me to then, but I'm so glad I stuck with my gut and went with the dream,
Yeah.
to be honest.
What's next? What's the next dream car then for yourself, Ant?
Next dream car.
Or are you going to keep this all your days?
I think I'm going to keep this. I go through stages. I go through stages where I'm like, I'm going to sell it, and then I drive it on a back road and I go, nah, I like this again. So,
Yeah.
when you do that, when you put the noise.
Yeah, I see what you mean about the gearbox as well. It's, you've got to be pretty smooth with it, don't you?
Aye. But yeah, it's on a road like this. This is where it becomes Subaru territory.
It just absolutely shines on these types of roads, man. It's, as you say, it's in its hope. This is where they belong.
Where it's
The noise from that turbo is addictive, man. It is absolutely brilliant. I thought mine had a nice whine to it, but this, it almost sounds like a supercharger.
yeah, I have no idea what it is, if it's the intake or, but it just, yeah, it makes it's a nice whine where I've had a couple of people that have asked, is it charged? No, well, why does it make that whine? I have no idea, but it sounds good.
It sounds amazing. Yeah. And again, it's one of those things that brings out your inner hooligan a little bit, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But as you can see, it's a bit stiff.
It's not too bad. Again, if we were travelling through here at 80 mile an hour, I think it would be, on a rally stage of course,
Yeah.
it would be just absolutely perfect, man. It would be the stiffness that you would want to be able to just keep this thing poised and under control, man. But no, this has been absolutely fantastic. I've absolutely loved the fact that I've managed to finally get my hands on a true rally car. Not only that, but we're off the motorway and we're driving in the home of these cars where they should be driven. But no, thank you very much for that, Alan. I've had an absolute ball today, mate. This has been fantastic.
Very welcome, and thank you again for having us. It's been good.
Every time that's going to take a while, man. It's going to take a while. What I've enjoyed with this is just how welcoming and open you guys are to this. You clearly love your cars and want to show them off, and you should do. They're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, like we were speaking about earlier on. Top boys, eh? There's that.
The dump valve, man. That's one thing mine missed. It didn't have, but because it was decatted, you could hear the turbo constantly. But like, yeah, I missed the fact that it didn't have a good dump valve on it.
But like we were saying, like obviously showing the cars off. Like the one thing for me that I get out of this, and as see when you see a young kid, like, or not even a young kid, like just a kid that's younger, that's
The next
obviously
generation,
the next
car
generation,
enthusiasts, man,
and
yeah.
you see them and they're like, wow, that, like, that's how I was when I seen one of these. It made my day, and I just love that more than the show.
Man. Yeah.
Almost like try to bring up that next generation and still stay petrol, still stay with internal combustion. Right.
Can I drop it to third and kick it
Of
off?
course you can, mate. You
Right.
watch second if you want.
Oh, it's absolutely raw, man. It is just so involved.
Got a nice wee pop out the back there.
Nice. No, it's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm sorry I interrupted you there for my own bit of fun there.
Absolutely, you've got to take it when you can at the opportunity. But seeing the next generation coming up, like, and still staying with it, because cars have lost a bit of their personality.
Totally, they're soulless. I feel like they're soulless these days, unfortunately.
And that's the one thing I absolutely love about this. It's got personality.
Definitely has character, for sure. Without a doubt.
It's not just a box of metal. It's... Aye, it makes you happy. Don't get me wrong, there's sometimes you could just throw away the keys and never look at it again, but it just makes you happy at the right moments where you go, aye.
And that's what it's all
I
about,
love
isn't
this
it?
car.
It's why we buy cars that may fucking stress us out incredibly.
Yes.
But it's because they hold such a close place to us, whether or not it's a childhood dream to
Yeah.
have it, or it's just something that you're like, I love the style of.
Absolutely.
This generation of car, it's so much different and so much more characterful
Yes.
than a lot of the new cars, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
And it's nice to see that Scotland's community is growing bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
As you say, you guys have just went from strength to strength with the club, and I can see why, guys. You're a fantastic club, and I've had an absolute pleasure meeting the members that I've met so far. Getting better. I'm getting better.
Well, there we have it, guys. I've just been out on the road with this fantastic Subaru Impreza WRX UK Turbo 2000. Aaron, fantastic experience with you, mate.
Thank
I've
you for
really
having me.
appreciated you taking the time today. I hope you're able to get that piece of trim replaced that came off on the motorway down here.
It's on its way.
Ah, you already got it ordered. Excellent.
Easter weekend.
Brilliant. Nice one.
It's killing me with trying to get stuff in it.
I bet.
But I'll get it. That'll come.
Excellent. But no, absolutely cracking motor. If you ever get the opportunity, guys, you need to experience an Impreza. Yes, they are the original Hooligans car, but it's easy to see why. They are phenomenal to drive, they're very engaging, and the noise is just fantastic. Whether it's through a B road or a council estate, it just fits in so perfectly, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice one. Well, Aaron, thanks again for your time,
Thanks,
mate.
Mark.
All the best. We'll see you soon.
Hey, mate.
Cheers.